Hey there, grade nines. Welcome to lesson 3 of chapter 2. This is using order of operations with exponents, which we haven't really done a whole lot in the past. So on the board, I have a question here. So this was actually a question, like one of those skill testing questions that you have to be able to win a prize. And the possible answers are listed above. So if you want to pause the video and try out this question. So it's 6 times, and then in brackets, 3 plus 2, end bracket, minus 10 divided by 6. So one of the answers is either 5, 10, 15, or 25. So if you want to pause, try it out, and then we're going to come back right away. So when I'm solving this using order of operations, I have to do my brackets first. So my next line is going to look like 6 times 3 plus 2 is 5, minus 10 divided by 2. Okay, then I can do my multiplication and division at the same time. So I'm going to do that in the same line because they're separated by a subtraction, which isn't a problem. So 5 times 6 is 30, minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my final answer here is 25. So that's just kind of a refresher from last year when we were doing order of operations, just to make sure that you guys are understanding the concepts properly. Now, we're going to get into something a little bit more challenging, okay? So they're going to look, these questions are going to look more confusing, which is totally fine. So I'm going to use square brackets when I'm using multiple sets of brackets. So this one's going to go 2 times negative 3 to the power of 3, and then we're going to minus 6 end of the square brackets, and then I'm going to square it. All right. So, according to order of operations, we have to do the brackets first. So here we have a bracket inside of other brackets. So we're going to go inside of the main bracket, and then we're going to do everything inside of that first, and then we'll work outside the bracket. So here, if I'm to rewrite my next line, I'm going to have 2 times. Here I've got negative 3 times negative 3, which is 9, positive 9, times another negative 3, which is going to give me negative 27, minus 6, in the bracket, squared. Okay. Next I have to do this multiplication, so I got positive 2 times negative 27, which gives me negative 54 minus 6 squared. Okay. Then I figure out this operation, and this gives me negative 60, and I'm going to do rounded brackets because it doesn't really matter now, squared. Okay, and then when I square this, negative 60 times negative 60 gives me 3,600. So that's kind of how I'm going to go through that operation, is I still have to do everything inside the brackets before I get to anything outside of the brackets. So that does seem a little bit more confusing. Okay, all right, I'm going to give you the next one. As I write it on the board, feel free to pause the video and try it out. So here we've got, let's go, 18 squared plus 5 to the power of 0. All of that's going to be squared plus, let's go, negative 5, and we'll cube that. All right? So give that a try, and then we'll come back to it right away. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to try to figure out all of this. So I'm going to try to simplify this a little bit. So this is going to give me 18 squared plus 1 squared plus negative 5 cubed. Okay. When I do 18 squared, that gives me, I think it's 18 times 18. So I get 324 plus 1 squared plus negative 5 cubed. Okay. Now this is going to give me 325. Whoops. 325 squared plus negative 5 cubed. Okay. Now I can do both of these at the same time. Okay. I'm just dealing with my exponents now, so I'm going to do both of those at the same time. So 325 times 325 gives me 105,625 plus negative 5 cubed is going to be negative 125. 5. So then I subtract. So 625 minus 125. So my final answer here is 105,500 is my final answer. All right. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll give you guys one more question, and then that will be the last one. All right. Okay, let's go with this. So we've got 7 and 4 minus 5 squared. All right. So when we have a bracket beside a bracket, what we can actually do is we know that that's going to be multiplication. So I'm going to do this one first. Well, actually, I'll do this and this at the same time. This is multiplication. This is exponents, but it's not going to affect the other one. So this is going to end up being minus 25. And then 7 times 4 gives me 28. Okay, so 28 minus 25 gives me positive 3. All right, so once again, we still have to follow the proper order of operations. So we go brackets, exponents, multiplication and division, whichever comes first from left to right, and then addition and subtraction, whichever comes first from left to right. Or if they're separated by something, you can do them on the same line. Okay, I highly, highly recommend that you do the steps kind of how I was doing it, where you're actually moving down as you go. The reason for that is it's very easy to see your work where you might make mistakes. So when you're going back, it's a lot easier to see any possible errors. All right, make sure you check the homework. Bring any questions that you might have to the Zoom chat, or let me know on Hangouts. Okay, good luck.